Have you ever lain awake wondering if a nursing home might be the right step or the worst mistake of your golden years? I'm Grace, 77 years old, and I've grappled with this exact question. For me, it started when my daughter gently suggested, "Mom, a nursing home could ease your chores, give you more support, and let you relax." It sounded wonderful, a place promising round-the-clock care, social activities, and relief from everyday burden. Yet beneath those polished promises there can be hidden pitfalls. In glossy brochures you see smiling faces, lush gardens, and claims of constant companionship, but the reality isn't always so picture-perfect. Today I want to share what I've learned firsthand and from friends who trusted the promises a little too quickly. We'll uncover 6 big lies nursing homes often tell. These range from illusions about absolute freedom to the painful myth that families will visit non-stop. By the end, you'll know the red flags to watch for, the steps to protect yourself or loved ones, and hopefully sidestep regret and disappointment. This is not about painting every nursing home as the villain. Some truly excel at caring for residents with compassion. But if you're considering a move, or have a parent on the cusp of deciding, it's critical to hear the other side. Because moving in is easy, but moving out once you've sunk your savings, your time, and your hopes can be far more complicated. Ready to see what's really behind those friendly tours and comforting promises? Let's pull back the curtain on 6 common lies, and be sure to stay until the end for a final philosophical lesson that might shift the way you see your own future. Let's begin. Lie 1. You'll have more freedom here than at home. When I was 75, my daughter painted a lovely picture of how a nursing home could liberate me from daily worries. No more cooking, cleaning, or stressing over safety hazards. I imagined strolling down pristine hallways, choosing when to wake up, and joining art classes whenever I felt like it. The promise was enticing. You'll have more freedom here than you do at home. But soon, I discovered that freedom can be a carefully spun myth. One close friend, Bill, moved to a facility that advertised flexible schedules and endless activities. He found the actual day-to-day structure vastly different. Breakfast started sharply at 7 a.m., lunch at noon, dinner at 5 p.m. Miss those times and you risked a smaller, less appealing meal. Bill joked that if he wanted to sleep in until 8, he'd better be content with cold toast. It might sound trivial, but something as simple as missing mealtime can chip away at your sense of autonomy. That loss of control extends to other routines too. Bathing might happen only when an aide is available. If staffing is thin, you wait, sometimes uncomfortably long. Bill shared stories of feeling like his daily life was set by someone else's schedule. Instead of painting at dawn like he used to, he felt compelled to follow a rigid timetable. At home, you might have the freedom to decide between a quick bowl of cereal or a late brunch. In many nursing homes, spontaneity is replaced by a regulated system, prioritizing staff convenience over personal preference. What's the consequence? A subtle sense of helplessness. Seniors who once treasured their independence may feel trapped or undervalued. While you gain certain benefits like medical supervision, you can lose that joyous ability to shape your own day. If you've heard this pitch of unlimited freedom, ask tough questions. How are mealtimes structured? Is there room to bend the schedule for personal habits? Talk to real residents about whether they truly feel free or if they've just adapted to institutional routines. If you've ever felt skeptical about the promise of absolute freedom, drop the number 2 in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And don't forget to like this video if you want more content about the realities of senior living, because while some facilities might offer flexible options, too many spin a fairy tale of endless choices, when in reality, you're often bound by strict protocols you never saw coming. Lie 2. We provide truly personalized care to everyone. During my own search for a supportive living environment, I remember an administrator who looked me in the eye and said, "We treat every resident like family. It's personalized care you won't find anywhere else." That phrase, "treated like family," hits home. We all want individualized attention, especially as we get older and our needs become more specific, but the reality of delivering truly personalized care to a large population is daunting. Staff shortages are a common thread. Even the most compassionate staff members can't be everywhere at once. They might dash into your room, help you out of bed, and hurry on to 3 more residents before the hour ends. My friend Sarah spent a few months in a facility after a hip replacement. She was promised one-on-one therapy and consistent help with mobility. Instead, she often found herself waiting long periods for someone to respond to her call button. That delay drained her emotionally. She said it felt like being on an assembly line, just another face in a sea of needs. Then there's the complex variety of care required. One resident might need memory support, another might have unique dietary restrictions, and someone else might need help managing diabetes. Personalized care should mean addressing each issue with care and respect, but often the facility lumps people into broad categories: standard diets, diabetic menus, or soft foods, rather than tailoring meals or therapy to the individual. If you're lucky, you get the correct diet for your condition, but personal preferences might get lost in the shuffle. The real risk here is the emotional toll. Feeling overlooked or lumped into a category can lead to disappointment, resentment, even depression. We older folks may already worry about being a burden, and impersonal treatment only heightens that fear. If a nursing home touts their family-like care, make sure to ask about staffing ratios, specialized programs, and whether current residents feel genuinely recognized. Visit during busy times to gauge how staff respond when they're under pressure. A hallway conversation might reveal more than any brochure. If you've ever been told you'd be treated like family, leave a comment with the number 4. I want to see how often that phrase appears. And while you're here, subscribe for more candid discussions about aging, because we need honest conversations about what care should look like. Nursing homes that truly practice individualized attention do exist, but they're rarer than you might think. Don't settle until you find a place willing to prove they'll follow through on that promise. Lie. For we have everything you need for a happy life. On one tour, I was dazzled by a resort-like setting: plush sofas, sparkling chandeliers, gourmet meals, and a schedule brimming with yoga, art classes, and movie nights. The administrator cheerfully said, "We've got everything you need for a happy life, no worries at all." It sounded too good to be true, and often it is. Happiness isn't simply about physical comfort or curated activities. Real contentment involves a sense of purpose, personal autonomy, and deep connections. Even if a nursing home offers a robust list of entertainment options, they may be superficial. Martha, a gardening enthusiast, was thrilled when her new facility advertised weekly garden walks. In practice, these walks meant a brief stroll around a small courtyard, not the hands-on planting and nurturing she craved. She quickly felt her passion being reduced to a token activity rather than something that fed her soul. Beyond boredom, believing that everything you need is already provided can lead to giving up on cherished hobbies or community engagements. If you stop seeking new experiences outside the facility, you might wake up one day realizing how much of your life you've let slip away. That's when regret hits, often alongside a sense of wasted potential. "We don't stop playing because we grow old because we stop playing," goes a favorite saying of many seniors. Losing your spark can accelerate that feeling of aging in a far more painful way than the number on your birthday cake. To shield yourself from disappointment, identify what truly brings you joy. If it's volunteering at a local shelter, painting landscapes at sunrise, or connecting with old friends, verify whether you can still do these things. Don't just rely on fancy brochures, dig deeper. Ask if the facility allows personal projects, volunteering outside, or easy transport to community events, and keep pushing for your own definition of happiness. If something's missing, speak up. Maybe you can form a new book club or request a time slot for real gardening. A truly supportive environment will welcome your initiative rather than sideline it. Have you ever walked into a place that seemed like a paradise but left you feeling hollow? Comment too if that resonates. And please subscribe for more honest reflections on senior living, because no matter how lovely a facility might appear, real happiness is rarely something you can just check off a list. It's a dynamic personal journey, and you deserve more than surface-level perks. Lie. 5. we're always fully transparent about costs. Money was one of my biggest worries when I considered a nursing home. Some facilities tout a single monthly fee covering everything, but often fail to mention extra charges until you're already moved in. During a tour, an admissions coordinator reassured me, "We're always fully transparent about costs." However, when I dug deeper, I discovered a labyrinth of hidden fees. Base rates might cover basic room and board, but medication management, specialized diets, physical therapy, and transportation can appear as separate line items. Harold, an old neighbor, was blindsided by monthly surprise fees. He needed help with bathing, a service he assumed was included, and got slapped with additional charges for personal care. Over time, expenses mounted so quickly that he had to sell his fishing boat to keep up with payments. Losing not just money, but also a cherished hobby pushed him into deep regret. "If I'd known how expensive it would really get," he admitted, "I might have tried in-home care longer." The bigger problem is the emotional distress that comes from feeling trapped. You might enter the nursing home with carefully planned finances only to see your nest egg drained by costs you never predicted. This strain can disrupt family relationships too. Adult children might argue over how to manage ballooning bills, and seniors may feel guilty about imposing a burden on loved ones. "Never spend your old age paying for someone else's over" is a warning that rings painfully true for many. So how do you protect yourself? Demand a detailed cost breakdown and ensure every service is explained in writing. Ask about price increases. Many nursing homes raise rates annually. Double-check coverage with Medicare or private insurance. If a facility's representative hesitates or deflects, consider that a red flag. Even the best care can become a nightmare if you're blindsided by bills. It's better to walk away from a polished sales pitch than to spend your golden years in financial turmoil. If you've ever been fooled by hidden fees, share your story in the comments and drop the comment. Let's help each other stay vigilant. And don't forget to hit the like button if this insight resonates. By talking openly about money, we can prevent painful surprises down the road. After all, you deserve to enjoy these years with financial peace of mind, not constant anxiety over unforeseen expenses. Lie 6. Your family will visit you all the time. No one wants to admit the fear of being forgotten by loved ones. Nursing homes know this, so they often highlight how easy and welcoming it is for families to drop by. "Your children and grandchildren can come anytime," they'll say. That might sound ideal until you realize life's demands can keep people away more than anyone anticipates. When I visited a facility, the staff emphasized flexible visiting hours, a lovely guest lounge, and even private dining areas for family meals. But I've watched many residents wait by the window for visits that never happened. Busy work schedules, kid activities, and the simple reality of distance often derail the best intentions. Roger, a proud father of 2, moved in expecting frequent visits. Weeks would pass and he'd see no one but staff. Each canceled plan chipped away at his spirit. He began to wonder if he'd made a grave mistake by leaving his home, where neighbors and church friends popped in more often. The consequence is a profound emotional toll. If you're already grappling with the regret of leaving your familiar surroundings, the absence of family can feel crushing. Guilt creeps in too. You might not want to bother your loved ones by reminding them to visit, or you might blame yourself for moving in the first place. The cycle of longing, disappointment, and guilt can make each day feel heavier. If you're considering a nursing home and your family promises "we'll visit all the time," have an honest discussion about schedules and practicality. Ask your loved ones if they can realistically make that commitment. Consider a location that's easier for them to reach, or explore in-home care that keeps you in a neighborhood they already frequent. Sometimes relatives truly don't realize how their daily obligations can clash with frequent visits, and it's better to have clarity before you sign on the dotted line. Drop the number 6 in the comments if you've ever experienced the heartbreak of fewer visits than expected. While you're here, subscribe to stay informed on ways to protect your emotional health in later life, because believing in guaranteed family visits can lead to a profound sense of loneliness if those visits don't materialize. and that's a heartbreak you shouldn't have to face in your golden years. We've just explored 6 common lies nursing homes often tell. Promises of unbounded freedom, personalized care, an end to loneliness, guaranteed happiness, absolute cost transparency, and constant family visits. Perhaps you recognized your own worries in one of these points, or maybe you felt a pang of concern for a parent or grandparent. Here's the key takeaway. Not all nursing homes are misleading. Some excel in staff quality, scheduling flexibility, and genuine care. But none are magical cures for every issue that comes with aging. You must investigate, ask hard questions, and confront marketing spin with real-life truths. I've traveled this road myself, standing at the crossroads of whether to stay at home with support or enter a facility offering professional assistance. Through personal experience and seeing close friends navigate heartbreak, I've learned that the best decisions come from having all the facts. A wise saying many older Americans appreciate is, "It's never too late to be what you might have been." We can still shape our destinies, even when we're 70, 80, or beyond. If you're already in a nursing home and feeling regret, remember you do have options. Speak up for better care, arrange new activities, request clarity on bills, or even explore a move if it's financially and physically feasible. This leads us to a deeper philosophical lesson. Aging doesn't have to mean surrendering your sense of self. Home isn't defined solely by walls. It's often defined by where you feel recognized and respected. For some, that might be a well-staffed, compassionate nursing home. For others, it might be aging in place with community resources. But whichever route you choose, don't let glossy sales pitches dictate your decisions. Trust your instincts, gather information, and never settle for a situation that diminishes who you are. Thank you for watching until the end. If this video resonated, please like and subscribe. Share these insights with someone wrestling with the same questions, and remember to comment too if any of those sections spoke to you. Your stories could guide others toward making choices that avoid the common traps of nursing home living. Because while regrets are part of the human experience, we can use them as teachers rather than let them consume us. Whatever path you pick, stay true to what you need. Your golden years should be about embracing life, not shrinking away from it. Aging is a journey filled with lessons. Let's ensure we learn them wisely and help others do the same.